Hey guys, Mr. Marcus here, and as you can see, we're back with some MyClub, the Marcus Mafia. And in today's episode, we actually have two matches for you. One of them, which is a really bad match for me, the second one in particular. So I'd advise you stick around for that one. But the first match is a pretty good match as well, filled with suspense and all that sort of stuff as you'd expect, because it's a football match and blah 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 blah. So yeah. So of course, being in Division 8, we only have 2 points so far in Division 8, which is pretty bad because, you know, don't even know how many points it is you needed to get promoted, but you need quite a lot of points to get promoted in Division 8, so we of course need to get some wins under our belt. Of course, I think you need 9 points to stay in the division. I think it was 12 to get promoted, so having we need 2 wins and a draw to even just stay in the division in general, so quite a lot. So in the first match of this episode, we face against a guy called Wolfito, with a pretty good squad, as you can see there. Luke Shaw, Vermaelen, Otamendi, Daniel Alves. He's got Van den Boren in midfield, which wasn't that good, and he had Hernandez, Morata and Llorente up front as his front three, as well as Ter Stegen in goal, which is always interesting to see. To be honest. But one of the things which I did enjoy about this match in particular was the fact we actually got to play at night, because usually you always play during the day. We play against a guy, he changed Sao Paulo's name to Eintracht Frankfurt, so I'd give a guess he's probably German, because like not a lot of people would probably play with Frankfurt out of their normal German teams, because it's just in general, to be honest. So in this particular match, like I was saying, it's an interesting match because he wasn't that good a player. He was an alright player, but he wasn't that good. And I was playing Iturbe on the right hand side, as you see here down this right hand side with Iturbe. He crosses it in, and it's a really good cross in, but Benayoun, just for whatever reason, is just goddamn ridiculous at anything. He literally just isn't that good really at all. As you see here in the 19th minute of the match, he gets a strike away. This time he hits it just wide of the post when he probably should have popped in the back of the net to give us a 1-0 lead. But in the 20th minute of the match here, really fortunate defending for me. Eventually Benayoun gets the ball, does play it out to Arcuvio down his left hand side. He does play a nice through ball through to Marquisio. Marquisio through on goal. He does try to stop me, but Marquisio, I know his finesse shot is ridiculously overpowered, and he pops in the back of the net to make it 1-0 to us in the first half. Then the Iturbe in the 41st minute of the match here skins past 2 or 3 players, tries to get a shot away, and unfortunately for me it doesn't really come to anything, as he actually gets an opportunity just to clear the ball eventually, because that's how it is. Actually, he was quite fortunate in actually clearing that ball, because I was like hounding him down with Llorente, but as you see there, he does foul. Well, it looked like a foul to me, but it doesn't really come to anything. As a 1-0 lead at half time for us, which is pretty decent, as you can see there. But there wasn't really much happening in the game because it was only 2 shots, 1 on target, as you can see there from the stats. And in the 58th minute of the match, I gave him opportunity for Fernando Llorente. He skins past Neven Subotic, really nice little one-touch play, but it's a really good block from, I think it was Mariano or Ambrosio. It was one of them, but from that, he does the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. He plays an offside trap for no reason. So as you can see here in the 61st minute of the match here, Llorente and Marquisio are both running forward, and I play the ball to Benayoun, and basically you'll see in a moment what I'm talking about, because Marquisio and Llorente on the ball play it to each other. Otamendi tries to clear. Well, actually, it doesn't happen in that. It happens here. Sorry, it's weird. You'll see what I'm talking about in a moment when he does play the offside trap. But Llorente gets played for on goal this time. Again, it's a really good tackle from Neven Subotic, and I just clear the ball with Arcuvio. And then from the resulting corner kick, this is what happens here. So he tries to play, like, he takes ages like picking a player off the ball, and I'm just sort of standing still, just like, yeah, I really don't care that much. And I thought, oh, he's going to play a short ball. So he actually does eventually play a short ball. Marquisio been tracking him the whole time. Crosses it in, Arbona heads it back out, gets it, it comes up to Borisiano, whatever his name is, and Javi Martinez does a really good job in midfield to steal the ball twice. And then he fouls me with Llorente, like definitely fouls me, but the referee doesn't do anything. And then from that, he basically comes to nothing again. But then like about 2 or 3 minutes later, he gets an opportunity again with Fernando Llorente. It doesn't come to anything. He fouls me. He tries to get the ball in the box. Doesn't get the ball in the box, and I clear it. And this is what I'm talking about. So I was talking about this before. He plays an offside trap, which is hilarious. So 2 players are running forward. Then he decides to play the offside trap, and just because he's using the offside trap when you have to use the directional button, he actually just takes his hand completely off the stick, and I just run down the left hand side with Benayoun, cross it into Llorente, and Llorente pops it in the back of the net to make it 2-0 to us with a really good header, which I was relatively quite proud of. But Benayoun he's just so goddamn slow. He's technically fantastic, he's just really slow, which I just really don't enjoy with. So a 2-0 win, which is pretty decent for us away from home in our first win in Division 8. So that you can't really say is that bad. But then, as you see, when you look at the stats, I mean, he did completely dominate that game, and I was quite fortunate to actually come away with a win, which is always weird to see. But as you see there, 5 points in Division 8, and we got 3,225 GP to spend. So, having the 2 random agents, as you always do, from winning matches and whatnot, but eventually I decided to actually use them, and I ended up just going out and try and get, as you always try and do, try and get like your 0.2% of getting a black ball or whatever. But this time, unfortunately for me, the black ball goes flying past, as does the gold ball, and I end up getting absolutely nothing. Well, I end up getting a silver ball, and I end up getting a South Korean centre back to play left back, Kim Yong-won, which is always interesting to see, because having players who can play quite a lot of positions is always like vital in one of these games, especially for me when I get a lot of players sent off, and you all sort of know this, so that's always interesting to see. But in this second match against this guy called Costa Cox, he had the most ridiculous team ever, and he completely just destroyed me. Okay, he doesn't destroy me, but he does have, he was quite fortunate, to be honest. So he was playing with his team name called Juve Moldova, but of course he was playing with Juventus as his team. And when you actually look at his squad, he was playing a 3-3-2-2 formation with Allegri as his manager. It doesn't have too many like standout players like other than Mesut Ozil, but for whatever reason, I just could not get past his 3 at the back, which was the most frustrating thing in the world, because 3 at the back isn't that difficult to actually attack. I was just really poor in this game. I don't remember why, to be honest. Like, he was a pretty good player, I'll give him fair props for that, but for some ridiculous reason, my midfield just continued to abandon me. In the first minutes of the match, he plays the ball into Mario Götze, and Mario Götze pops in back in the net. So basically, Götze and Ozil as his 2 standout players. As we see here, Mesut Ozil on this left-hand side runs at my players. He plays a long ball into Bojan. It's a pretty decent save from Ter Stegen, actually. And then from the result, he doesn't actually get anything. In the 20th minute of the match, he crosses it in again. He gets an opportunity. This time, Ter Stegen actually hitting it over the bar. Like, literally, for whatever reason, my defence just was continuously just not staying with my players. And in the 43rd minute of the match, he gets a goal with Bojan Krkic and makes it 2-0. And for whatever reason, my players were just literally dreadful. They just continued to abandon their posts, and I decided to move Benny Union into midfield. And just didn't, I moved him into attacking midfield. It didn't make any change, as you see there at the half-time stats. He had 6 shots, 4 on target. I hadn't even had a shot yet. My first shot came in like the 80th minute of the match, and then he started passing the ball like around the back, but not too much around the back, just sort of more building from the back properly. And I sort of just stopped playing, because I was like, what the hell is the point in playing when I'm already 2-0 down? I'm not going to bring it back. And then literally I decided to hack the hell out of him on the edge of the box when he's through on goal. Neven Subotic gets a red card, and Mesut Ozil pops a free kick in. He actually scores a pretty decent free kick, to be honest. It's a free kick right into the bottom corner, and that was that. So, knowing I'd already lost the match, I decided to finish the match. I lost 3-0, which is probably one of my biggest defeats, which I'm quite disappointed about, because, you know, we don't really want to lose those games. As you see there, he definitely deserved to destroy me, which was quite interesting to see. But as you see there, his ranking was quite high as well, which was quite good to see, and that was quite good at basically bringing me back down to earth, because I was getting maybe a bit too high on my high horse. But I decided to get rid of Yossi Benayoun completely released the player, because he was horrendous in that match, and he's horrendous in general. So if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel for more, and catch you later.